What's going on, guys? Kaid's here and welcome back. The second video of the day. Let's go. I'm giving you some content. So basically now I will show you in-depth guide of CLARENT blade. One of my most favorite weapons in the game, as well as bloodletter, so that's why I'm starting with these two both weapons today. So basically CLARENT blade is melee bruiser, and now you can see the build. Usually you can mix and match and fluctuate with. So basically the medium cost build is here. So for the helmet we go for Stalker's Hood, so basically we pick the more Mortal Agony and with the Balanced Mind. You can also go for Quick Thinker if you feel like you should need a bit reduced cooldown. In my opinion, attack speed never gives you anything because you purely use your spells. Like, you don't use a lot of your auto attacks, so you don't need auto attack speed. And so basically just 1.5% increasing your heal and your damage and reduces incoming damage by 1% at least is something. So I would go for Stalker's Hood. So one of the things that you can change about this build is only this thing, that when you get a lot more richer and stuff, go for Alien Hood. One of the best things is that Stalker's Hood is the same skill tree, it's the same artifact tree, so whenever you're leveling up Stalker's Hood in Fan Farm or whatever, Hellgates and stuff, and when you get richer and for GVGs you can use Alien Hoods. That could be viable. Like, for example, if you don't have a tank, if you have only melees, a Hellion is really good, but not required, because like a lot of people still who are really rich use Stalker's Hood because their teammates have Hellions. But if the teammate doesn't have Hellions, then in my opinion Hellion is a viable option if you really feel like it. I have heard that people are also wanting to use just normal soldier's helmet or just the normal block, as well as the demon helmet for silence. In my opinion, silence is just one of the worst abilities that are really expensive and not needed. Anyone can cleanse silence, but Hellion is not able to cleanse, so it's not cleansable. So that's why it's, in my opinion, really good. And of course, so basically, the thing is why I pick Stalker's Hood, because basically I have 3 defensives and I have 4 offensives. So one of the good things is that this is offensive, so basically whenever I do my ability, your damage is increased by 15% for 4 seconds. Enemies in a 6-meter radius around you, health is below 50%, will be mortally afraid of you. Their resistance are reduced by 15% for 4 seconds and they will be revealed from invisibility. So basically what's usually you will ask the CLARENT's main thing that they need to do. So basically you can right now see the Q ability. I just don't have any targets, so I cannot get my 3 stacks my Q ability, but whenever you stack up on something, you see that on your left bar there's 1 Q, 2 Qs, 3 Qs. Whenever I'm at 3 Qs, I use my Mortal Agony, that is my D ability, and I use my swing. So basically my mighty swing, like you can see in the description, whenever I have 3 charges, that means I have clicked Q 3 times, so the cooldown is 3 seconds, so every 9 seconds I get full stacks and I can use my mighty swing that does 630 damage. And of course on paper, like on mobs and stuff, whenever I'm fan farming and stuff, I do 2000 damage to mobs and stuff, so it's, in my opinion, really good. So basically the plan is, like I said, get 3 stacks, use your ability on helmet, so like I just did, and your mighty swing, and basically it's the Mortal Agony just reduced the resistance by 15% and increased my damage, and I did my mighty swing that did probably 1000, and I'm again, my skills back again, so 15 seconds I do the same thing, swing, and basically my damage has increased by 30% because when they have the reduced 15%, and when I have increased my attack speed, that means 30%, because 15 plus 15 is 30, so my damage is increased 30% when I do this skill shot. One of the things that is countered by CLARENT is tanks with Purge or the Purge helmet. So basically, a lot of people who are Clarents right now, enemy team takes either way, they have a mace tank against them, so they have the Purge helmet or something like that, and they just Purge. So one of the important things for a Clarent is the ambush ability that I will go a bit into it. But main thing is just, of course, just keep an eye on your stacks whenever you have 2 stacks. Be really careful, get the 3rd stack, go ambush, and then whenever you are ready, because as also ambush increases 50% damage if you are the longest, so you do the mortal agony and you do the swing. So that is the wombo combo that you want to do if enemy team has a Purge helmet, or they are just really like always are not clumping up, because main thing for this build is to be always close to each other. So you do an AoE, so if the enemy team is really clumped up, you can just do the Just ability and do the Mighty Swing, and you can basically hit 2-3 people, so it's not like single target damage, it's multi-target that is really powerful. Of course, against stronger teams, they're not clumping up so much, so it will not be as big thing. But either way, the most important thing is just to pick target, get your 3 stacks, go in invisibility. As well, you can use your ambush for defensive as well, not only for offensive. But whenever you use them, people cannot see you, so you can just get in their backline, use your Mortal Agony and swing. And of course, animations just look so good. So that's why I picked an Assassin's Jacket, I picked Ambush, so you can use it offensively and defensively. Of course, whenever they put the demonic staff or something that counters ambush and reveals you from invisibility, don't stay in those areas. Of course, Infernal Shield usually, before people were starting to be really smart and countering Clarents, using Purge helmets and stuff, they were using usually Infernal Shield that is just, you know, a really good defensive that your resistance is increased and stuff. But right now, people being really smart, in my opinion, it's definitely you need to use ambush. And if you use ambush smartly, you can really do a lot of damage, even if it's increased 50% damage the longer you stay. So it's basically your Mortal Agony is increasing 30% more damage, then your jacket's increasing 50%. So for example, let's say you will not the longest, but 40%, you stay like 6 or 7 seconds. And then you use your helmet and your Mighty Swing, you basically do a lot of damage that's increased 80%, and with the 3 stacks it's just huge. So then Royal Shoes, in my opinion, like I said in previous video, everyone should use Royal Shoes, only if you're not a tank. So tanks can use whatever they want, boots, but in my opinion Royal Shoes, everyone needs to use them, because you can use them offensively and defensively to push something, or to back off, and of course use Balanced Mind because you don't need attack speed. Then, so in Clarent Blade, I've been seeing a few people using this, but in my opinion it's only good for frame farming, so it's like a Q that does AoE damage. It's reduced, so whenever you're doing Hellgates and stuff, always go for the first Q that isn't multi, because the AoE Q does a lot less damage, almost by like 60 to 70 less damage than a normal Q. So always use the Heroic Strike, the normal Q that's increased damage. And of course, remember to keep stacking, and whenever you have, and of course each charge increase your movement speed by 10% for 6 seconds that you can see as well. So that's the main thing for the Clarent, just keep stacking and use your Mighty Swing. So basically the W, if you haven't got the level 40 and be able to use Splitting Slash, use Iron Will, so it's basically increase your movement speed by 20%, so you can push, so you can use it offensively or defensively as well. And the incoming damage is reduced by 25%, so that's basically you can push on someone or back off, and they're doing a bit less damage on you by 25%, and your movement speed is increased. Or use Splitting Slash, that is a root, that AoE roots for 3 to 4 seconds. In my opinion, whenever you have unlocked this skill, 100% go for it. Because you have already defensive with Ambush, with Shoes, and you don't need a lot of defensives if you're doing so much damage. By just doing damage to them, they'll back off and not pressure you, and you don't even need to use, because in my opinion, if you're smart and stuff, you only need 1 to 2 defensive. So 1 defensive maximum for a cloth target, that's like a frost or fire, and 2 defensives minimum for bruiser, but you don't need to go full on hardcore for with 3 or 4 defensives. That's in my opinion just too much. And then if you haven't leveled up, then go for the deep cut. That thing gives a bleeding, and every 4 normal attacks does bleeding for 49 damage. Or if you have leveled up at least level 40, I think, then go for the 4th. Go for the 4th ability, that is, let's see. Okay, so the 4th ability is increase defense. So every 5 normal attacks, your resistance is increased by 67. That is, in my opinion, just huge. 100% go for it. Of course, it's only after level 50, but you shouldn't be hellgating if you're not at least level 50, and it's just huge. Whenever you do 5 normal attacks that you usually need for to stack up Qs, and whenever you don't have any abilities, just keep auto attacking. So every 5 normal attacks, your resistance is increased by 67%. So that's basically like 3 times Iron Will using, and or basically it's almost like a 1. Here you can see it's 1 Inferno Shield full duration, and if you can keep that on you like at least 5 to 6 seconds every time, it can be really huge, and you can really have a lot of purely sustainable mobility, as well as surviving and doing huge damage. So basically that's that. I appreciate them for watching. I hope you enjoy. One last thing I forgot. So usually for poison potions, I would go either way for poison. Poison is just really good still, or I would go for resistance potion if you think that your damage, if your abilities are too low and you think that you're doing a lot of damage but you are dying a lot, so that you don't have enough defensive, you feel like you're too squishy, go for resistance potion. If you want more damage, go for poison. And 100% usually go for Stew for increased damage. So that's that. Appreciate everyone for watching. I hope you enjoy. Click like if this was helpful. Let me know in the comment section down below if you have any suggestions or anything like that. And see you tomorrow with another videos. Peace.